I returned home after spending an extended 2 months at my parents' house following the birth of my baby. But what awaited me there was a situation I couldn't believe.
You and I are divorced. Please leave this house.
Unbeknownst to me, my husband had filed for divorce while I was away. Another woman had already made herself at home, claiming my space. Even my mother-in-law took their side, erasing me from the picture. They treated our newly born daughter as if she were an inconvenience, without even seeing her once. In an instant, I was pushed out of their lives. But I know one thing, their future is anything but bright. My name is Cecily, and I'm 32 years old. I have been married to my husband for 3 years. Currently, I'm 9 months pregnant, with 2 months left until my due date. Meanwhile, my husband Gail is having an ongoing affair. How did I find out about his infidelity? It happened due to a series of coincidences. One day, a little after my pregnancy was confirmed, my usually busy husband forgot his mobile phone at home. I was debating whether to call him at work when a notification popped up on the lock screen. Looking forward to our date today, seeing the incoming message, I let out an involuntary shout. What is this? The message left no room for doubt. He was cheating. I knew my husband's passcode. It's the debut date of his favorite artist. That piece of information was my saving grace. I unlocked the phone and opened the messaging app. The conversation with his affair partner was pinned to the top, signaling her importance to him. The woman's name seemed to be Rilana, and there they were, exchanging love notes on a daily basis. Looking back through the chat history, their relationship started a year ago. Apparently, they first met on a dating app. Somewhere along the line, it escalated into something extraordinary. I was so shocked, my hand trembled holding my phone. Gail, how could you? My emotions are in turmoil, swinging between sadness and disbelief. The thought of divorce flashes across my mind, but I'm pregnant with Gail's child. It's unthinkable that this child could grow up without a father. But can I really turn a blind eye to Gail's affair? What if he continues this relationship even after our child is born? The worst-case scenario sends shivers down my spine. Overwhelmed by severe nausea, I hurriedly rushed to the bathroom. I have been suffering from morning sickness lately, spending most days lying down. Unable to eat properly, I'm mentally and emotionally drained. I don't have the energy to confront Gail about his affair. Raising my voice could negatively affect the baby. After much thought, I decide to ignore Gail's cheating. Of course, I'm anxious. But more than that, I want to prioritize our unborn child. Once the baby's here, I'm sure Gail will change. I desperately tell myself to calm down. Months have passed, and I'm nearing my due date. But nothing has changed about Gail continuing his relationship with the other woman. Tonight, he came home after 11 p.m. I was already on edge and I couldn't help but raise my voice. Gail, isn't it too late? I'm almost at full term, you know. He responded with an annoyed tone.
What can I do? I have work, you know.
That may be true, but even cleaning the bathroom is hard with this belly. Could you help out a little?
Oh, come on, stop nagging. You get to relax at home all day, right? I'm the one working here.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's the truth. You know what? Maybe you should go back to your parents' house early. It would be less stressful for both of us.
Are you serious? Gail, wait a minute. He walked away right in the middle of our conversation, heading straight for the bathroom. Lately, our talks have been nothing but half-hearted or limited to essential things like errands. When was the last time we had a real full conversation? I can't even remember. That's how rare our meaningful dialogues had become. Maybe he really can't stand me anymore. Ever since that day, he's been coming home even later. So there I was doing all the house chores, grocery shopping, and even getting ready for childbirth all by myself. I also kept collecting evidence of his affair. If his attitude doesn't change after the baby is born, divorce might be the only option left. I hired a private investigator to gather evidence and even look into his mistress Rilana. According to their report, Rilana had multiple affairs besides my husband. On top of that, she was pregnant. Is the child his or someone else's? Either way, this would serve as important evidence. So I kept collecting proof, preparing for the worst-case scenario. Then, one day, as my due date approached, I decided to go back to my parents' house to give birth. I was in the middle of packing when my mom called. "Hello, Cecily. How are you feeling?" "Oh, Mom, the baby's kicking like crazy today. It seems like they can't wait to come out." "That's great to hear. So will Gail be coming with you? What should we prepare for dinner?" Well, what's wrong? I don't think Gail is coming." "What? You're not planning to travel by train alone, are you, with luggage?" My mom's concern was valid. It's a 3-hour train ride from where we live to my parents' house. Ideally, my husband would drive me, but he recently told me to go alone. My mother, raising her voice, interrogated me further. "Cecily, did something happen with Gail? It's unthinkable for a pregnant woman in her last trimester to take a train alone." "Gail must be busy. I'll be fine on my own." "But what if something happens? You can't just get off a moving train." "I'll manage. My checkups have been fine, and I've been doing the grocery shopping by myself." "Wait, you've been going shopping alone?" Yeah." Continuing the conversation would only make me more suspicious. Digging myself into a deeper hole, I decided to swiftly wrap up the conversation and hung up the phone. "Sorry, Mom, I'll call you back." Wait, Cecily! "Looking forward to coming home. Bye." Though I felt guilty, I didn't answer my mom's return calls. That evening, my husband returned from work in a surprisingly foul mood. He stormed in, tossing his bag on the floor. As soon as he saw me, he started yelling.
"Hey, what's the deal? What did you tell your mom?"
What do you mean?"
"Got a call from your mom today. Cecily seems to be struggling. You should support her more. Now, it looks like I'm not doing anything."
"Oh, well, turns out my mother felt sorry for me and had called Gail. My decision not to take her call backfired. Gail's face turned red with anger, his teeth clenched tightly. As I was about to apologize, he cut me off.
"Enough. My mom is coming over starting tomorrow."
"Your mom? Why?"
"To make sure you don't mess things up. I don't need her thinking weird stuff about me. She'll take care of the house. Got it?"
"But having her move in so suddenly, we would be walking on eggshells."
"What? Whose fault do you think this is? Just do what you're told and realize it's your fault, you idiot."
He angrily clicked his tongue. Every time I tried to explain, he shouted,
"Shut up. This is your fault."
In the end, we never had a proper discussion. The next day, his mother arrived. She had clearly been poisoned against me by my husband, and she continued to berate me. "I never thought Cecily would be so selfish. You should be grateful just to be married to Gail." "You don't understand. There is a reason." "What don't I understand? Because of you? My son has a bad image in your mother's eyes. Marrying a stupid wife like you was the mistake of a lifetime. I feel sorry for Gail." After that day, life at home became even more strained. Conversations with my husband dwindled to nearly nothing, and I was left alone with my mother-in-law during the day. She didn't help with household chores and only criticized my actions. Unable to tolerate this, I decided to temporarily move back to my parents' home earlier than planned to give birth. When I mentioned going home, my husband casually said,
"Do whatever you want."
My mother-in-law added fuel to the fire by saying, "Don't come back if it's not a boy." Yes, I had purposely not found out the baby's gender. I wanted it to be a surprise. Yet, to hear such a thing, all I hoped for was a healthy baby. Once back at my parents' home, I spent the remaining time of my pregnancy in peace. A month later, my daughter arrived a little ahead of schedule. Weighing over 105 ounces, I named her Clara. She was so adorable, I thought. Even if she's a girl, my mother-in-law would surely love her. Once my husband saw his own child, I was sure he would stop his foolish affair. But neither he nor my mother-in-law came to visit Clara. not during my hospital stay or even after we were discharged. I tried calling, and instead of my husband, my mother-in-law yelled at me, "Can't even have a son." My parents were livid. Though they tried contacting my husband Gail multiple times, he never responded. My parents told me,
"You don't have to go back to such a terrible husband."
My husband, who wouldn't even come to see his daughter, and the struggles of new motherhood were taking a toll on me. I was approaching my physical and mental limits. I was supposed to go back after the 1-month checkup, but fear kept me at my parents' home, caring for Clara. What should I do next? Even if I go back home, Gail won't visit Clara. If I return, he probably won't help with raising her either. That's when I began seriously considering divorce. Planning to make a final decision, I decided to return home once. A few days later, I left Clara with my parents and went back to my husband's home after 2 months. But what I found there was beyond belief. Wait, why is she here? My favorite sofa was occupied by Rilana, my husband's mistress, and in her arms, a newborn baby. That's when I remembered that Rilana was also pregnant. Mother-in-law was cooing. "Boys really are adorable, aren't they?" Upon noticing me, she opened her mouth sarcastically. "Oh, Cecily, what brings you here?" Mother-in-law? Mother-in-law, drop it, would you? I have already set up a new daughter-in-law." "A new daughter-in-law?" "Yes, Gil's girlfriend. Rilana gave birth to a boy, and she's far better than you." I was speechless, hearing mother-in-law say that so blatantly. My husband looked at me and laughed as if mocking me.
"We are already divorced. I'm living with her now, so you better leave."
"Divorced? What are you talking about? I haven't signed any divorce papers."
"I did it for you. Be grateful. After all, you're the one to blame for not giving birth to a boy."
Rage boiled up in me like dancing flames. Any love I had for my husband was gone. I held back my urge to yell and told him, "Fine, I'll accept the divorce, but is that child really yours?"
What are you talking about?"
"Do you guys even know your affair partner there, Rilana, was it? She's been involved with many other men."
"What? How do you know that?"
"Because I knew all about Gail's cheating. I ignored it, thinking he would change after Clara was born. Clearly, I was foolish." My husband looked shocked. He probably never thinking his affair was out in the open. He was visibly disturbed by how easily I accepted the divorce. I coldly told him, "Divorcing you is a wish come true for me, but in return, stay out of my life. Clara and I will live on our own. And let's forget you were even a father. Oh, and I expect full alimony in the divorce settlement. Got it? That includes from Rilana."
"Hold on. What do you mean Rilana has other partners? Is this true?"
"Yes, it's true. I had a detective look into it. Why not get a DNA test if you're so doubtful? You might find some interesting results, including who the real father is."
"Is this true, Rilana?"
Rilana looked away uncomfortably at his questioning. "Answer me." "Well, that's what you get for a relationship that started on a dating app." Unable to bear it any longer, my husband turned to me and began to plead.
"Oh, wait, hold on. If that's the case, I'm fine raising a child that's ours. I don't have any obligation to raise someone else's kid."
"Shut up. Trying to act like a father now? You've got to be kidding me." Everyone in the room shuddered at my raised voice. "You never lifted a finger to help me while I was struggling through pregnancy. Don't even start with your nonsense. I have completely fallen out of love with you. I can't stand the sight of you. Don't ever show your face in front of me and my child again." Amidst my own heavy breathing, I hurriedly packed up my belongings. Ignoring my husband's calls, I walked out of the house. Later, I contacted a lawyer to claim alimony in the divorce court against my ex-husband and his affair partner. I also demanded child support from him and made sure he paid it all at once. After some time, I received news from Gail about the DNA test results. As expected, the child born from Rilana wasn't his. Confronted with these results, she had this to say: "All I needed was someone with money. Turns out she never loved Gail. As soon as the truth came out, Rilana took the child and disappeared. Mother-in-law was furious about the whole situation. She's demanding Gail to bring me back, and he has been flooding my phone with messages.
My mom wants you to come back. She's throwing fits every day, wanting a grandchild. Help me out. I promise I'll never cheat again. Please, forgive me.
His messages, full of empty promises, left me unimpressed. Naturally, I have no intention of going back. Whatever their reasons, I have decided never to see them again. Now, I am back at my parents' home, struggling through the early stages of motherhood with their support. It's tough, but every day, I find joy in my daughter's growth. There may come a day when my daughter will miss having a father, but I hope to shower her with so much love that it will erase any sadness she might feel.